I actually really enjoyed the movie. Fuck me, right? Alright, let me just want to get this out of the way. I really enjoyed this film. I really did. When I walked out of the cinema, I had such a huge smile on my face. I was geeking out. I just had fun. Did this film have problems? Yes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did, but it was one of those cases where the good outweighs the bad, and it was just fun. I guess it was one of the even though I did enjoy, well, this I thoroughly enjoyed Batman v Superman with extended cut. It didn't have this sense of fun. And when I mean fun, I don't mean Marvel fun. I don't mean cracking jokes every 10 seconds and having jokes inappropriately be inserted in some scenes. I don't mean that. I mean fun as in my adrenaline was rushing. The soundtrack, the way it matches with certain scenes. It was just fun. Now let me get some things that I don't like out of the way when I'm starting with it. When I'm starting to talk about this film, what I didn't like first off, before I saw this film, I did not see the reviews. I did not look at Rotten Tomatoes. I did know that it had like what 20 something percent of Rotten Tomatoes. I took that image out of my head and just try to watch this film with an open mind, and I really did enjoy this film. The things I didn't like. One was the editing. There were editing issues with this movie. There was what it wasn't to the same extent with Batman versus Superman, where it was blatantly obvious. But in this one, yeah, there were editing issues. I will give the critics that there was. But for me, when I was watching the film, it wasn't that in your face like Batman v Superman, but there were like bits here and there where just I could see it. That was one. The other ones were there were certain characters that I didn't like how they were portrayed. I knew they were in the back of my head they were going to be portrayed in this way, but at the same time I didn't like how they were going with it. One of them was Killer Croc. With Killer Croc, I hoped that they weren't going to make him the comedy relief kind of character, but they kind of did. I get why they did, but at the same time, I didn't like what they did. It's like one of the jokes where he says, at the end of the movie, where Amanda Waller comes up like, what'd you guys want?" And he's like, "BET." It was just one of those. It's just one of those eye rolling jokes. They made it. I hoped for more scary kind of Killer Croc, but instead that we got like, I know maybe I don't want to compare this to Guardians of the Galaxy, but they made him more of the Groot kind of character where he's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some things he said were fun, but there were some things where it's just like, look, I just want to be the serious, scary guy. I'm all for trying to like sympathize with a character. I mean, look, this is a movie about villains. And it's going to be hard to cheer on the villains where they're just doing bad things. But I know there's they need to add some kind of relatable aspect to these characters. But making him the like jokey, it was. If you were to ask me, can you see him in the Batman solo movie as the villain? I would be like, no, because he's just too. It just didn't click with me. The other thing that I didn't like was the mission itself. The mission, basically the whole mission before the whole Enchantress thing was for that Amanda Waller the main mission was for Amanda Waller to cover up her mistakes. That was basically it, to save her, to cover up her mistakes. And if it was handled well, it would have been, oh shit, that's what it done. But it was underwhelming. It kind of was, because when the squad, because at first when you see it, you thought the mission was to stop Enchantress, but when in reality it was to save Amanda Waller and help her cover up her mistakes. But it was just it was really underwhelming how it was handled. I don't know why. When it came in, it should have been like The Empire Strikes Back, where it's like, I am your father. You're like, holy shit! But in this one, it was just, oh, okay. I mean, she was brutal as fuck. Don't get me wrong. She was brutal as fuck. But the way it all unfolded, it was just, it was just, man. I don't know. It was really underwhelming. That was the problem I had with with the main mission that they had. It was just meh. And the other thing that I didn't like, look, let's face it, the main villain was fluff. It was underdeveloped. That was one of my big disappointments from this film. If you ask me what were my major disappointments with Suicide Squad, it was the villain. The main villain they had to fight. It was a shitty villain. It really was. It felt it felt like a Marvel villain. It was. It felt like a one-dimensional villain. It felt like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy villain or Thor: The Dark World villain. It was just one-dimensional, and that was really disappointing. And this is one of the main things where I was excited for about this movie was the villain, the big bad that the Suicide Squad that the villains have to take on. It was just it was disappointing because DC was all about the villains. Like generally, DC had to build villains like Man of Steel, Zod. He wasn't one dimensional. You see where he was coming from. Batman vs Superman. Even if you didn't like Lex's portrayal, you could understand where he was coming from. He had motivation. He had that sly thing to him. Even if you dislike his character, you could still get what they were going for. But with this, it was just there. It was just disappointing. I have to say, it was a really disappointing villain. And that was sad to say. Alright, now on to the things that I did like. And one of the things that I did like were the characters. I liked how the characters were handled in the film. And plus, alright, let me just start off with Deadshot. Because that was one of the characters that I was really not worried about. Was like, oh, let me see how this is going. Because they cast Will Smith as Deadshot. And you know what? I liked how he played the toned down Deadshot. Because originally Deadshot, if my memory serves me right, he had a death wish. And he was kind of crazy at some points. I mean, this one, I liked how he was toned down. He was really calm and stuff like that. But I liked how they didn't make him into a hero kind of hero. Because in this one, there's some of the dialogues he says, I'm like, alright, this guy, he's a bad guy. Like, for example, when he was suiting up for the first time, when Rick Flag was getting his team together, and they went into this base, and he was putting on his suit, and then Harley was like, I forgot what the exchange was, but then Deadshot was like, every time I put this suit on, people die. And then he says, I like putting it on. It's stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I liked how he was a leader, and yet he knows what he is. Like, he's a bad person. He knows it. And I liked in the squad, I liked the interaction between him and Flag. I liked how they were like the mom and dad of the group. That's how I really liked. I was hoping Will Smith doesn't overshadow the whole squad. I mean, in some aspect he does, but it was the right amount. It wasn't Will Smith and the squad, if you know what I mean. And I liked how, because I was afraid that Will Smith's going to overshadow Flag, and even though Flag was supposed to be the leader of the group, I liked how Flag was the leader, but it was more of Flag the leader, and Deadshot was like second in command almost. Because I liked how Deadshot refers to Flag. He's like, what's the plan? Stuff like that. That's what I loved. I loved the chemistry between them two. I loved that in the beginning, they were like, not at odds, but they were at odds, but you know what I mean. But then at the end of the movie, they have this understanding. Now, I'm not gonna say they're like the best friends, but they do have this understanding, which I did like. And Harley Quinn, I already knew from day one she was gonna kill it. Margot Robbie, when they when they first cast her as Harley Quinn, I'm like, yep, she's gonna kill it. She's gonna kill it. And when they first uh, showed her image as Harley Quinn, and people were iffy about it, I'm like, nope, she's gonna kill it. She's gonna kill it. And guess what? She killed it. I loved her accent in the film. I loved the way she delivered her lines. I just loved Harley Quinn. And since what and I don't think I have anything to add to that because she was amazing. I just love Margot Robbie. She's so freaking hot. Just putting it out there. And second, now that I talked about my Harley Quinn, I have to talk about the Joker. Now, is he not Heath? Is Jared Leto's Joker better than Heath Ledger's Joker? I cannot say. One, because he was in this film for a short amount, so I can't say that he's better than Heath. But he was good. He was good. I liked. He in this one, he's more of a gangster, mob boss kind of Joker, which I liked. I will admit, I wish that I can't. I'm conflicted with him. I think he was in the right amount. He had the right amount of screen time in the film because after all, it's called Suicide Squad, not Joker and Suicide Squad. But at the same time, I can't really say he was the show stealer because he wasn't, because he was there a little. So I can't really say he was good in the movie. But I have to see him. I have to see him like in a solo Batman film. I hope he's in a solo Batman so I could truly see what Jared Leto was trying to go for. But he was good in the movie. And Jai Courtney as Boomerang, I loved him. That was also one of the things, the surprise of him, because I wasn't a big fan of him. I mean, I did like Spartacus. I liked him as Spartacus. But then he was in films like Divergent, and then he was in films like. What was that other one? It doesn't come to me. Yeah, Terminator. He was in that. He was not good in that. So in this one, I think he found his role. He found his element. He was having fun, and the whole, and now he's a brony apparently. It just says he has a fetish for ponies, but then you find out he's. I think David Ayer just said. I think he said that he's a brony. And he was just funny. He had funny lines. The way he delivered them was funny. He was a perfect comic relief. But my problem with him is he didn't have much to do in the film. I mean, he's there. He kicks ass. But it's just... he wasn't like Deadshot or Harley Quinn or Rick Flag in the sense that they didn't flush out his character enough. That was a huge disappointment. But I hope... But he did bring this sense of... He was part of this sense of... brotherhood that they formed at the end of the movie. That's what I really did like. El Diablo was a great surprise as well. I thought it was going to be like Slipknot, where I'll get to him in a minute, but where he is, where I wouldn't care for him. But at the end of the movie, I really did care for him. He was a really interesting character with a tragic backstory. And it was really good to see, and that transformation that happened. It was really cool to see. He was a really cool character. I really liked his character a lot. I really did, and it was kind of sad when he died. It was really sad when he died, but his arc it was a full circle, and I really appreciated that. Just seeing that was really cool, and I did like that. Slipknot, again, one of the world's greatest characters. Slipknot. This guy was so amazing that his head blown off. I mean, for fuck's sake, you already know he was going to die. I mean, before this movie was released, everyone knows, yep, he was going to die. He's going to die. He's going to die. Guess what? He died. I like how in the memes, everyone's saying that he's like the greatest, like, character in the DC universe. I just like how ironically, like, people are taking the piss, but people are like making jokes about it. It's just fun. Yeah, nothing to say about Slipknot. I mean, what? Yeah, his greatest power is to climb anything, so... Killer Croc, already mentioned him. The other thing I liked about this movie that really got me was the world building. Like, after BVS, this movie just continued to expand the DC Extended Universe, which I loved. They mentioned Superman, Batman was in it, the Flash was in it, and also the off the credit scene where Bruce Wayne interacts with Amanda Waller. That's what I loved, and how at the end she gave. Like, she needs protection, and Bruce was like, "I will protect you, but if you give me what I want." And then she gave him the dossiers for all the metahumans, and then he found the Flash, Barry Allen, Aquaman, Arthur Curry, where the locations are. Because I'm presuming in Batman v Superman, that folder that he got back from Wonder Woman, I think that was just introducing that the metahumans exist, but he does not know where they are. So you have to go to Amanda Waller, like, I know they exist. I know you have them. Give me the location of those metahumans, and I will protect you. I think that's what the dossier is for. Just further information about them, and to find out where they are. Because Lex Luthor's disc, we find out they exist, but you don't know where they are in the world. It doesn't. We know what their powers, but it doesn't go into detail what they could do. Whereas Amanda Waller does, and that's what I liked about Bruce Wayne. Like, he collects information like twice. Like, he goes the extra step, so he could understand the full context of, all right, these are what these guys could do. This is what they've done in the past. Maybe I can approach them. And I liked how Amanda Waller is like, he should stop working nights, and then Bruce Wayne turns around and threatens her and says, you should shut it down, basically Suicide Squad. And me and my friends will shut it down for you, hinting the Justice League. And I got goosebumps when that happened. And I just loved it. I really, really hope. I mean, there has to be a Suicide Squad 2. There has to be. I mean, come on. There has to be a Suicide Squad 2. And I hope David Ayer stays, because he brings that energy. Because this movie, even though it's in the same world, it feels different. Like, this is not Batman vs. Superman, but it's in the same world, and that's what I loved. And I just loved it. I mean, I recommend this movie. I recommend it. I'm not gonna give it. I don't think in this channel I gave any movie or product. I mean, yeah, I don't think I've given any of them a score, because this is what I'm finding out. Because when I've been online, like, not uploading videos, I mean just looking at other people's reviews and stuff like that, I'm finding out that people focus more on the score than what people are actually saying, what the person's actually saying. So I'm not going to score it. So yeah, I really enjoy this film. I watched it twice already. I see myself owning it. I loved it. The only complaint that I have is the editing. That was a problem. The editing, the mission, and certain characters that I didn't like the direction they were going with that. But overall, I enjoy this film. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. Seriously, check it out, because I know it's better to see it. Because here's the thing, I don't like it when people haven't seen the film and yet saying it's bad. It's like, well, you haven't seen the film, how can you know it's bad? At least see the film, and then you could have a stronger opinion of the film. And you could actually have conviction of saying, well, I like this film, or you didn't. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. How long this video is. But thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a nice day.